YouTube family, welcome back. My name is Ty, and on this channel we talk about fashion, fragrance, and a variety of lifestyle topics. So if that type of content interests you, consider subscribing. That way you're notified every time I post a new video. Today, we're back with another fragrance review, this time for Armaf's Club de Nuit Milestone. This fragrance is inspired by Creed's Millesime Imperial. So as usual, we'll talk about the official notes, how this one smells, then we'll get into price, performance, and versatility, and wrap up with my final thoughts. So, that sounds good to you? Let's jump right into it. So let's kick things off with the presentation, starting with the box. So a white and gold box, which I think is standard for Armaf's Club de Nuit line. Pretty nice, pretty simplistic, clean. And then we have the bottle, which is really nice. So it's gold. Does attract a lot of fingerprints, but pretty nice bottle. Now let's check out the atomizer. So let's jump into the official notes. Up top, we have sea notes, red fruits, and bergamot. In the mid, we have violet, white woods, and sandalwood. Then at the base, we have ambroxan, musk, and vetiver. Similar to the original, Milestone is bright, fresh, and clean. In the opening, you get those red fruits, which, compared to Creed's Millesime Imperial, a lot of people say with that one, it smells like salted watermelon. And, I have smelled that fragrance before. I can understand the comparison there, but, it's fruity. You have that sea salt, sort of that, ocean breeze sort of vibe, and just really fresh. It smells really good. And I think Milestone captures that pretty well. It is a little bit different. I'd say the fruity notes that they use, I know they say red fruits, slightly sweet, maybe a little sweeter than in the original, but nonetheless, they still smell very good. And as a whole, I feel like it still gives the same scent profile that you find with the original. So as you start to get into the mid, you start to get some of that musk, you start to get some of that ambroxan, and you start to get some of the sea notes that they list. Again, to me, more of a sea salt type of vibe. So just that fresh ocean breeze sort of feeling that you get with this one, and remains pretty much that way, for the entirety of the fragrance. So relatively linear, you get that fresh sea breeze, crisp, really nice fragrance that's great for the warm weather, which we'll talk about in just a second. So let's jump into price, performance, and versatility. Starting with price. You can find this one at a number of different discounters, and I believe Amazon even has this one right now. And Armaf Club de Nuit Milestone, at the moment or at the time of this recording, you can find for less than $50 in most places. Now, compare that to Creed's Millesime Imperial, that retails for currently $470, and that's for the 100 ml version. So that leads to the question of, is Creed's Millesime Imperial 10 times better than Milestone by Armaf? And in my opinion, that answer is no. I definitely would take Milestone for a tenth of the price, as, its DNA as a whole is very similar to Creed's Millesime Imperial. Of course, like I said, the opening's a little different, but as these two dry down, again, both bright, fresh, clean scents that, to me, Milestone gets the job done and does it in a way that is pretty high quality, especially for the price that you're paying, less than $50. Spray this one on. There's not too much, harshness in the opening, and of course, like I said, after about that 5 to 10 minute mark, as it really starts to settle down, this one is very, very fresh, very clean, and very refined. So in terms of performance, I get pretty good performance out of this, especially for a rather fresh fragrance. So from a longevity standpoint, I get about 6 to 7 hours on my skin. And in terms of projection, I get decent projection for the first hour, maybe hour and a half. In terms of versatility, this is one that I definitely reach more for in the warmer months. I feel like that's what suits this best, and that's when it performs best. But as always, rock what you want when you want. I think this scent profile can work in cooler weather, especially if you're in climate-controlled rooms or areas. But again, I would say this is definitely more of a spring-summer scent, as, it's a little lighter, fresher, that bright opening, to me, just screams sun and warm weather. So moving into my final assessments, I think Armaf's Club de Nuit Milestone is an amazing scent, and for the price, I definitely think it is a very good alternative to Creed's Millesime Imperial. It's literally about a tenth of the cost, and I think from a accuracy standpoint, gets you very close to that original scent profile. It's one that has pretty decent quality as well in terms of, its initial opening, and shortly after spraying it, comes off relatively smooth. Of course, like I said, a bit different, but still smooth nonetheless, from kind of initial spray throughout the entirety of the fragrance. So if you're looking for an alternative to Creed's Millesime Imperial, I think Milestone by Armaf is a great alternative. One that is really easy to wear, one that performs pretty well, and again, for the price, it's almost a no-brainer in my opinion. It's definitely one, again, because it's so easy to wear, such a likable scent, it's definitely going to pull you some compliments. So that wraps up today's video. I want to take a moment to thank you all for joining and tuning in. If you've, had any experience with Armaf's Club de Nuit Milestone or Creed's Millesime Imperial, feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, look forward to seeing you all again soon. Peace and love.